What up, everybody? You're listening to the Introverted Nerd Watches. I am your host, Reese, and I'm back for another episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Can't you hear how excited I am? This week, I watched Season 4, Episode 10, Close Your Eyes. The second episode of this half season. It was an episode. I don't think this is going to be a long podcast this week because there's not a lot to say about it. This was this was an Alicia episode with a side of Charlie. Whatever. I have some things to say about it. But before I get into that, you should subscribe to the podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcasts. I am there. So subscribe and leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts because that would just be really nice. And let me know you're listening and you enjoy the show. You can hook up with me on the socials. I'm on Twitter at NerdTrovertPod, NerdTrovert pod. I live tweet Fear the Walking Dead every week. That's fun. So follow me there and use the hashtag NerdyWatch and tweet and chat along with me. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm at TheIntrovertedNerd, and like the Facebook page at facebook.com/TheIntrovertedNerd. Oh, and if you want to send me feedback, you can send it to TheIntrovertedNerd at gmail.com. So close your eyes, everybody. Let's get into Fear the Walking Dead. So it's the second episode back, like I said earlier. And I mean, not a lot happened. We spend the entire episode in the house with Alicia and Charlie. I don't think there's a spoken word until maybe like 15-20 minutes into the episode. I don't know how long it is, but it's a while. So we spend the first little chunk of the episode following Alicia through this house while she clears it out of walkers and everything. She's just trying to, there's the storm going on still. And the storm. I don't understand whether this is like a hurricane or tornado or whether it's just a really bad storm, because 1 minute zombies are blowing around outside. I mean, the wind is so heavy that, zombies are blowing around. There's actually a zombie that ends up in a tree in this episode. It blew up into a tree. But then, later on in the episode, there are zombies standing on the porch, walking around perfectly fine. So I don't know. It's just a lot of convenient zombie things happening that, if I think too much about it, I'll be kind of annoyed. So I'm going to keep moving on. And, the storm is over by the end of the episode anyway. So, at least it's not going to last for 8 episodes like I thought. I was so scared we were about to get 8 episodes of this storm that I didn't even know what to do with myself. So I'm just going to accept this this blessing that we're not getting 8 episodes of this goddamn storm and just keep moving. So eventually Charlie can't keep her ass quiet. I don't know how Charlie and Alicia end up at the same house, but they do. Charlie ran to this house after the last episode, and Alicia got here. I don't know. It's the first house she saw. Alicia and Charlie have similar tastes, and they saw this house and they loved it. So they both want to stay here through the storm. So Charlie's hiding in a closet and she makes a little too much noise. She moves or something. And Alicia hears her, and Alicia's not about the bullshit in this episode. She she calls out. She's like, whoever's in that closet, get the fuck out. I want to see who this is. I just want to be in this house alone. And of course, Charlie doesn't say anything because she's mute now. She does not speak anymore. But eventually Alicia's like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to, and I forget what she does, but she goes to the closet and she's about to open it, and Charlie runs out and Alicia grabs her, and Alicia she's paranoid in this episode. And I mean, maybe it's sort of well-deserved paranoia that she has, especially as far as Charlie is concerned, because she when she catches Charlie, she like has her on the ground, has her like, I think she has her at gunpoint, or she has that that knife, what is that thing? I don't know what that thing is that she carries around. It goes on a gun. I don't know what it is. It looks like that round thing with the holes in it, and she made it sharp and pointy. I think she holds that to Charlie's neck. It doesn't even matter. I don't know why I got so it doesn't matter. But she's questioning Charlie. She wants to know if Charlie is there to kill her. She wants to know if Charlie followed her there. I'm like, Alicia, no, this little girl did not follow you here. She got there first. I don't know. It's like, I'm like, Alicia, what is wrong? Like, think, girl. Like, sit down for a second and think. Charlie was there before you. Like, were you following her? That's what Charlie should be saying. Like, bitch, were you following me here? Or are you trying to kill me? That's what she should be saying. But she doesn't, because she doesn't speak. But that's what I was thinking. And but eventually Charlie gets away and she locks herself in a bedroom, and Alicia starts banging on the door. Alicia is crazy in this episode. Like, she's crazy abusive. You guys know how much I don't like Charlie, but even I was feeling kind of bad for Charlie in this episode with Alicia, because god damn, she was like, Alicia was on fire with Charlie. And I get it. Charlie killed her brother, but she went in on Charlie. So Charlie's in the room and she's screaming at Charlie to open the door, or to answer her. Like, she just doesn't. And so I think the most frustrating thing for her is the fact that Charlie won't speak, because I was getting kind of frustrated when Charlie wouldn't speak. Alicia's saying all this stuff to her, like, where did you come from? Why are you here? What are you doing here? Are you following me? And Charlie is saying nothing. She's barely reacting. She's not even crying or anything, or, like behaving scared. She's just being mute. And I think that is like even more frustrating for Alicia, the fact that this person won't say anything. Like, she won't even beg her to stop. She won't say anything. And I think Alicia was becoming even more frustrated with the fact that Charlie wouldn't speak. Or maybe I was just becoming more frustrated with the fact that Charlie wouldn't speak, and I'm projecting onto Alicia. But when Charlie is locked in that room, Alicia is like, if you don't get the fuck out of that room. Like, she was straight up Jack Nicholson from The Shining. Like, she was about to go at the door with a goddamn axe and break down that door. She was crazy. So she was telling Charlie, like, I'm basically, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. You're like, you're trash. What does she call? She calls her garbage. Like, okay, I call people garbage a lot, but I hardly ever call children garbage. But Alicia was like, you're not a child right now. You're the bitch that killed my brother, and you're garbage. And she was like, almost was like, oh, well, goddamn, Alicia. I mean, they're all garbage. Like, Alicia's garbage too. Um, but she was telling Charlie that she's garbage. And basically she's like, bitch, you ain't shit. You ain't never gonna be shit. I'm gonna fuck you up when you get out here. Like, just wait. I'm just out here waiting to beat that ass. It's basically what Alicia was doing. And it was kind of funny, but it was also like kind of sad because Charlie, she is a young lady. She's like, what is she, like 12 or 13 years old? She's basically, there's different rules. Like, she's grown up kind of in the apocalypse. It's been 3 years, I think, that they're at in the show, like 2 or 3 years. So Charlie has been in this world for a while. She's pretty well adjusted to it. So she's not a child the way that we would see a child, a 12 or 13-year-old in the world, like in the real world right now. So there are different rules. Like I was saying in the last episode, Charlie's not a child. She's not an adult, but she's also not a child. So nobody is going to treat her the way that they would treat a child right now. And Alicia is certainly not treating Charlie like a child. She's just not here for any of that. I have to say, I only watched the episode once, so there might be some things that I missed out on. Because I didn't really love this episode. Like, I had fun live tweeting the episode like I do when I live tweet anything, because it's always more fun when you're doing it with other people. But this episode was kind of slow, and it was just, these single person episodes, or these like really self-contained episodes, are sort of hit or miss, and it depends on how you feel about the people in the episode. I like Alicia, she's fine. Charlie, I can't get on board with her. I don't hate her the way that some people do. I'm not angry with her the way a lot of fans are. I think I've said this already. I'm not angry with her. I think she was I completely understand why she killed Nick. So, her killing Nick is not the reason I don't like her. She's just, I don't know why she's here. She's just sort of the stray person that's around. And it's almost like the show felt like they needed a child on the show, so she's still around. But I don't understand why she's still here, because she's not really connected to anybody on this show. There's whatever. The people that liked her from, our sort of group of people are dead. Nick and Madison are dead. They're the two people that liked her and wanted to take care of her. They're both dead, and she killed one of them. So I don't know why she's still here. I don't get it. And I feel like they're trying to turn her into they're trying to, I think, create a little family with John, Dory, June, and Charlie, but I don't know. I feel like Charlie's a little too old to be adopted by any of these people. She's not a baby. It's not a situation like with Judith or something. She's a little too old. She's whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm not crazy about Charlie, and if she died in the next episode, I wouldn't shed a tear. And Charlie wants to die in this episode. Like, eventually Charlie comes out of the room, and Alicia spends not the rest of the episode, a good chunk of the episode treating Charlie like the garbage she said she was. I understand, like, Charlie was like truly scared of Alicia, and I completely got it. Alicia wasn't threatening her anymore, and she wasn't really calling her names anymore, but she was being really aggressive. And I think at a certain point she actually told Charlie that she couldn't die, that, Charlie didn't get to die. She killed somebody, and she was basically reading her like, I know you feel guilty, but you don't get to die. You don't get to, die for your sins. Your punishment is going to be to live. And I was getting kind of upset with Alicia because she kept doing that. And it's like, are we forgetting like who you were and who you are and who you were related to? Like, your mom was a piece of shit as well, Alicia. And I get it. I don't expect Alicia to be friendly with a person that killed her brother. And I don't expect her to be like, okay, well, I know, I haven't done great things, and neither has my mom or my brother, but just as a person that has watched, a lot of the show, it's just really frustrating to have it like you're acting like your shit don't stink either, and it does. We all smell it, Alicia. So stop it. Calm your ass down. Sit down. Calm down. So at a certain point, Alicia decides that, she and Charlie need to work together to survive. And so they start nailing the windows shut and, putting boards over the windows and everything. And this is another thing that sort of, it didn't make sense to me. So, obviously she's nailing windows shut. She's putting boards over the windows. They're putting boards over the windows. And zombies start walking around. This is, when the zombies start walking around and they're making noise. And Alicia's like, oh, we're making too much noise. We're attracting them. But to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense, especially when you have, these really high winds and this heavy rain. And plus you have like thunder and lightning and stuff going on. There's a lot of noise. I just don't understand how zombies got attracted to this particular noise. It feels more to me like they would be more sort of confused by all of the noises going on, so they wouldn't be attracted to any one thing. They would just be sort of roaming around like individually. They wouldn't even be able to gather up because they wouldn't hear each other. I'm like, I live in Philadelphia. I don't think we've never had a tornado here, or at least not one that I remember, or a hurricane. Well, we probably have had hurricanes here, but not that I can remember. We get tropical storms and shit around here, but when the wind is really high like that, and when there's really heavy rain coming down, you can barely hear anything, especially if you're standing outside. So I don't know. This is not a big deal, but it was just kind of like, it was sort of like, okay, we need zombies around. This is a horror show. There needs to be zombies here, because if there's not, then there's really nothing happening in this episode. So, eventually they start working together, and Charlie starts trying to make conversation. Like, Alicia sort of chooses to be more civil, and then they start eating dinner together, and Charlie starts trying to make conversation about asking Alicia when the storm's going to stop, or asking her if she's ever been to the beach. And I'm like, Charlie, I get it, you're young, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you guys are not friends. Like, Alicia is not your friend right now. Just because she's not yelling at you and calling you like a piece of shit doesn't mean that you're friends, and doesn't mean that she wants to make conversation with you. And, thankfully, like right after I tweeted about that, Alicia was like, stop talking. Basically, I don't want to talk to you. Like, just shut up, eat your food, and then go back to sleep. And these two motherfuckers go to sleep at the same time. That I did not get. That was like really stupid to me. They both go, there are zombies on the porch. they didn't get the chance to nail all the windows shut. And so there are zombies on the porch. They're at the window. They're all like hitting the glass. Charlie goes to sleep, and then Alicia falls asleep, and she eventually wakes up. But it's like, aren't you like, there are glass windows, everything is glass around you, and you have zombies at the window, like hitting the window, and they could have broken in at any time, but you're both asleep. Like, it's cool. Whatever. I was frustrated about that because I feel like they've done this time jump in this show, and these are things that shouldn't be happening at this point. Like, they've been in the apocalypse for long enough for this not to happen. So anyway, Charlie tries to kill herself. She tries to commit suicide by zombie. The zombie that I was talking about that was up in the tree. Charlie goes upstairs and she walks out onto like the deck on the second floor, or the balcony on the second floor, and she walks out to the zombie and she tries to feed herself to the zombie to commit suicide, and Alicia pulls her back, and I'm like, Alicia, come on, stop it, don't do that. Let Charlie do what she's gonna do. But Charlie was really not about that life. She was not, like, she was trying to kill herself, but not really. She was walking toward the zombie and sort of like almost hoping it would bite her, but she doesn't really want to die, but she does. I think she feels really bad about what happened, and being with Alicia is just makes it a whole lot worse. So eventually what happens after Alicia pulls her back is that the wind picks up again and picks up all the zombies on the porch, and it also like blows out all the windows. So they have to run and hide in the basement. And the basement is flooded. And they get stuck down there because like there's a collapse upstairs. So they're stuck in a basement where there's water like up to almost to Alicia, not Alicia's chest, but it's definitely almost chest high on Charlie. And they can't get out, and they're sort of stuck in there, and Charlie starts to freak out because there are zombies upstairs and they're walking around. And this is when Charlie had the moment where Charlie begs Alicia to shoot her. And it's it's a powerful moment to have this little girl asking Alicia to shoot her because she doesn't want to turn into a zombie. She tells Alicia that she saw her parents turn into zombies, and she doesn't want to be one of them. It's it's pretty standard Walking Dead shit. She doesn't want to be a zombie. She's crying, and Alicia pulls out the gun, and I have to say, for me, there was not very much tension in this moment because I didn't think Alicia would kill her. I knew that once they started working together, there was just no tension with whether Alicia was going to kill her. Once Alicia didn't kill her earlier in the episode, it was done. That Alicia killing Charlie was just never going to happen. So there was not a lot of tension. And then we get, Alicia holding the gun to Charlie's head, and she's having flashbacks of Nick dying and her mom at the stadium with the fire and everything. And, it's pretty standard shit that, I feel like this has been done on The Walking Dead 100 times. So, it's a whatever moment. And it was a lot of convenient shit happening because there were doors in the cellar that wouldn't open. They were locked from the outside. There was like a chain locking the doors. And once Alicia tells Charlie that she can't kill her, and they're both crying, the zombie that was up in the tree falls on top of the cellar doors. And I'm guessing that the tree trunk that was holding him up, when he fell, it fell on on the chain that was holding the doors closed, and it broke the chain, and it allowed them to get out of the basement. And I am so rolling my eyes because when they get out there, Charlie sees the zombie, and she's like, Alicia, look, it it opened, it broke the lock, it opened it for us. And it was like, I'm like, oh my God, it is so corny. It was just like, really, a zombie, the tree zombie fell on top of the lock and it broke the lock. Okay, you guys, like, I was just like rolling my eyes and sucking my teeth. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Because this episode was a lot like 2 episodes of The Walking Dead. It was a lot, or more than it was. There was moments that were really familiar from The Walking Dead. So it was a lot like The Grove. That episode where Carol makes Lizzie look at the flowers because of, the whole Alicia and Charlie thing. It was also a lot like that episode. It was season 5, episode 10 of The Walking Dead. What was it called? It was called Them. It's the episode where the whole group is like in the barn, and all of those dummies fall asleep too when a tornado comes, and they all hold the door closed like miraculously against a horde of zombies and everything. So it had like shades of that, like sort of like there's sort of divine intervention with I don't like these episodes. I don't like the divine intervention type shit with The Walking Dead. I hated that episode of The Walking Dead. I hated them. I hated it. It was a terrible episode. I hated it. The Grove was pretty good, but Alicia doesn't kill Charlie the way that, and Charlie is also not as crazy. She's not crazy like Lizzie. So it's whatever. They get out of the basement. They go, and Alicia was talking about how she what was she saying? Well, she was telling Charlie about how she blamed Charlie for all the bad things that happened. But she was also mad at herself because she was telling her that she basically abandoned Strand and Lucy when they needed her the most. And so she feels bad about everything. And another problem, I'm really having this problem, is that Alicia keeps saying that she wants to be like her mother, and she wants I feel like they're trying to rewrite history with this show. They're trying to retcon everything because they created this character in Madison in this season that, took care of everybody and saved people. And it's like, that is not a Madison that I knew. And I feel like if they wanted to create that person, they shouldn't have done the first half of the season in flashbacks. If they wanted me to believe that Madison had changed into the kind of person that helped people and saved people, she needed to be in the first half of the season. We couldn't just see that through flashbacks and then have, Strand and Lucy and all of the rest talk about how she saved them, because it just doesn't track with the person that, I remember from the season and a half that I watched. So it feels like really false. Like they forget that there were people that watched this show before. And that they're trying to retcon everything. And I'm like, I've seen this. I haven't watched, all of the seasons of the show, but I've watched enough to know that the Madison that you're describing is not somebody that existed before. So what they needed to do was they needed to have the first half of the season, the first 8 episodes, happen straight up to show us how Madison had changed, to show us why she changed and how she changed. And then Alicia's attitude would make more sense. Everything would just make a lot more sense, but they decided to do all of these flashbacks because they wanted to tease the fact that Madison was dead. And I just think, other parts of the show, other parts of your story has suffered because of the way they decided to tell the first half of the season. So whatever. It is what it is now. So once they're out of the cellar, they go to try to find the rest of the people. They go to where everybody else was staying, and Strand's mansion is all fucked up. Like the glass is all blown out. It looks terrible. Of course nobody is there. The school bus that John Dory and June and Charlie were staying in blew over onto its side, and Charlie wants to look for everybody, but Alicia is telling her, like, we don't know what happened to all of them. They could be dead. They're probably dead. We got to get the fuck out of here. And so they leave. I guess everything's cool with them now. And Alicia made her peace with Charlie. So once they meet up with Strand and Lucy, they're just going to have to get on board with Charlie being a part of the group now. So, and I don't even know, who knows when they're going to see them again, because everybody split up. The scenes from the next episode seems to be really Morgan centric, and it feels like they're doing a season 4 Walking Dead type thing where everybody, like, after the prison falls, everybody gets split up. So we do different episodes with all these people. I mean, maybe that's what we're doing now. I don't know. It's sort of, it's really different because in The Walking Dead, all of these people wanted to get back together. Like, Rick and Daryl and, everybody else, all of these people, they were a really tight-knit group and they wanted to get back together. Is John Dory going to look for Alicia? And he's with Strand, or unless they got split up in the storm somehow. I don't know. Do any of these people want to be together? I know Morgan was trying to get them all to go, back to Alexandria with him, but I don't know. They're not really a group. They're just sort of like, they're smaller groups within all of this, and none of them were really close to begin with. So I don't know. That's what makes this different from The Walking Dead. Like, I don't know. There's no tight-knit groups here. Strand, Lucy, and Alicia are maybe tight-knit, but they haven't been that tight. They haven't been that tight lately. And Alicia told you, like, she's abandoned them. So I don't know. We'll see, because next week looks really good. I'm really interested. Morgan meets new people. The storm's over, and there's a lot of Morgan's tied up, and he's like, there's crazy shit going on. So that looks really interesting. I hope it's really good. I'm going to keep watching this season. I don't know that, unless something happens, I don't know that I'm going to continue watching this show after this because I'm not. These first two episodes, like the first episode of this half season, I didn't really enjoy. This episode, like I said, was okay, but I didn't love it. Next week looks pretty good, so I'm in for that. But this is all sort of, it feels like it's all dependent on how much I like the character that's going to be featured in the episode. I like Morgan, so that's cool. Alicia, I could sort of take her or leave her. So, whatever. That's the end of the episode, you guys. I told you it wasn't going to be a long episode. So, and I'm trying not to do the thing where I just shit on the episode, all day, every day. Because I didn't hate this. I wanted to be clear. I didn't hate this, but whatever. That's the end of the episode. You, just, I don't know, follow me on social media and subscribe to the podcast. I'm definitely going to be doing a Saved by the Bell episode this week. The next episode of my Saved by the Bell rewatch will be coming out this week. I promise. I know I said it would come out last week, but whatever. It didn't. Get off my back. Oh, but so it will definitely be out this week. And I don't know, live tweet with me. Follow me on Twitter and because I live tweet a lot of things. I just never know what I'm going to live tweet. So follow me over there and I'll talk to you later this week. Bye.